Now let us start with the advantages of GST. Scope, may come to know what are the scopes, mostly what are the things that are not included in GST. So there are certain advantages of the GST. The same thing we will get what we got there in the features, characteristics, aims, goals. And now let us go for the main advantages. The advantages are divided actually in the three parts. It is separately, advantages separately we can uh, divide it into three parts, just like for citizens. For citizens, the advantages is different. Fine. Next, for the trade and industry, the advantages is different. Next, for the central and state government, the advantages is different. So these are different type of advantages we will get for state government, central government, citizens, traders. So what we got exactly? Three types of different advantages we got. One is for the citizen, for us, the general public. Second is the businessman and the traders. And the third is what? The government. So three parties are there in the entire tax procedure. These three parties are what? One is the customer, another is the trader. So there is a relation between the trader and the customer. And the third person is the government. So in each and every stages, for each and every type of individuals, different individuals, there are different advantages. As a whole, the advantage is same. It's a very simple tax. Everyone can be easy for us to calculate, easy for a nation to grow, easy to pay, easy to calculate, easy to grow. So this is the motto of GST. Now let us see how it is advantageous for the customer, citizens. Citizens are the general customers. For citizens, it is a very simple tax system. Secondly, reductions of prices of goods. Introduction of GST reduced the prices of goods and services due to the elimination of the cascading effect. Next is uniformity in the prices. Everywhere the prices are uniform, same type of prices, okay, throughout the country. Transparency of the taxation system, increase in the employment opportunities. Through these increases the employment opportunities. So these are the general advantages with the implementation of the GST. So this is the advantages which our general public, a general citizen used to get. Now let us see what are the advantages of the trader, businessman. Okay. The next advantages is what? This is the advantages which a trader or an industrialist gets. What are the advantages? Reduction is multiplicity of the taxes. Different taxes they need not have to pay. There is only one tax. That is first one. Secondly, mitigation of cascading, removal of the cascading effect. Thirdly, more efficient naturalization of taxes, especially for export. Okay, that means there is no GST for export almost in all the products, except the amount if it increase more than 10 lakhs. There is a conditions, no doubt. But till 10 lakhs rupees, the people need not have to think anything, any GST. But above, if it cross 10 lakhs rupees, definitely there are certain rules and regulations. It's given by government and the trader has to follow. But for the startup business, for a new business, so it is quite easy for each and every trader to do the business outside also. Next, simple tax, fewer rates and exemptions. So different exemptions are there. Those things we will get in some different chapters, different rates, different taxes, exemptions, mostly the exemptions. In practical problems, we used to get the exemptions of the GSTs. So all these things, the trader and a businessman gets. from the GST implementation. This is all about the traders. Ultimately, next is the government. What is the advantages of government for citizens and for the central and the state government? How they are benefited by this tax procedure. Central and state government a unified common national market to boost the foreign investment. The government is benefited by boosting up the foreign investment in India through export, through share market. Next is boost export is there in the second point. Third is improving the overall investment climate in the country, which will benefit the state. Investment through the share market. Investment through the finance to our industries by the outside market. It is possible through the GST. It is possible through the one tax procedure. Now the investors are interested to invest in India because it is a simple procedure, not at all a complicated procedures, and they can see the future growth of Indian economy. So that is why most of the outsiders, most of the investors from the outsiders, they're very much interested to invest in Indian market. Next is uniform SGST as well as IGST, international goods and service tax. One is state goods and service tax, another is international goods and service tax rates to reduce the incentive for tax evasion. Uniform SGST. IGST as well as SGST both are uniform now. So that is another advantages for the central and the state government to earn the tax. More and more investment, more and more investors. So thereby tax also, the revenue also increase and government also will be benefited by that. Once the government collect the revenue, more and more revenue, so our country we can develop more. We can make a smart country. The technological development will be more in the agricultural sector, in the industrial sector, everywhere the government can invest more and more money as because their collection is more. Fine. So this is all about the advantages which is divided into three parts. One is advantages to the citizens of the country. Second one is advantages to the trader and a businessman of the country. And thirdly, the advantages to the government, central as well as state government of the country. Next, the next most important phase of GST is what? Impact. What impact it has in our state. Okay, the result, ultimate result. Impact is nothing but the ultimate result of the taxation. So impact is divided into two parts. Now see, one thing is for sure, till now whatever we have discussed, till now whatever I am giving you out input, there what we got? All the advantages, all the advantages. We are discussing all advantages only. Characteristics, features also we are discussing the advantages. Advantages, of course, we are discussing. Even in goal also we are discussing about the advantages. Because goal is always for the positive things. But when it comes to the result, result may be positive, result may be negative. You can't say that every time the result is positive only. So that's why in case of impact, when we discuss, we have to discuss both the sides. One is positive, another is negative. So that's why in case of the impact of taxation, it is divided into two parts. One is the positive impact, thereby certain negative impact are also there. Let us see what are the positive impact and what are the negative impact. Fine. So see, positive impact. Few points are there for the positive impact, what we already discussed in characteristics, goals, advantages. Scope. Everywhere we have discussed regarding the positive effect. Let us just go through the positive effect. It is easy to run a business across the country. Very good. Next, less tax compliances. Okay, faster transportation of the goods. Fine. Next, indirect benefits to the startup. As I told you, that 10 lakhs rupees, they need not have to pay any tax. Increase in the foreign investment. So that means whatever these 5 points we got as an impact of the taxation, these all are nothing but the advantages and goal of the GST. Whatever the advantages we got, that only are there in the positive impact. So positive impact we can very easily analyze. But what are the negative impacts? Is there any negative impact? If yes, what are the negative impacts? Let us see. For the negative impacts, see, these are the negative impact of GST. Very few, no doubt. If you study the entire GST, the positive impacts are more and more, I can say. But negative impacts are also there. One thing can never be only positive. Negative should be there. So what is the negative impact on me? Proposed GST rate is higher than the VAT. Though we have to pay only one tax, everybody thinks, okay, we are paying very easily one tax on. But if you calculate GST properly, you can see it is higher than the VAT, value added tax, which was there earlier, the value added tax, it was lower. But GST, if we calculate CGST and SGST, the total amount is more than the VAT what we have paid. So that is number one negative impact. Mostly we do not calculate that one as because we thought that we are paying only one tax, it's okay. But if you see, if you calculate, VAT is lower. VAT is lower, but now it is higher. Dual control, this is also actually a negative impact. That's because state government is also taking a revenue, central government is also taking a revenue. So that means for the same commodity, though we are not paying different type of taxes, but we are paying two type of taxes, one to the central government and another to the state government. Suppose in a commodity, in a textile industry, let us take an example. I am purchasing a commodity for 50,000. Textile, any textile product I am purchasing for 50,000. So in that case, while preparing the bill by the seller, he will charge 5% CGST, 5% SGST. So in 50,000 product, if he charges 5% CGST, that means 2,500 I am paying as CGST. Again IGST, again 5%, again I am paying 2,500. So ultimately how much I am paying more? 5,000 rupees extra I am paying. In spite of 50,000 rupees purchase of goods, I am paying 55,000 rupees. Thereby increasing the cost of the product. The original price I cannot keep. I have to add each and every product the amount of money which I have paid extra. And what happened? This dual effect, dual control by the state and the central, it affects ultimately the trader as well as who pays the tax. Ultimately, everyone has to bear the tax. So that has to be borne by a dual effect, not one tax. One country, one tax, but charging by central as well as by state government. So this is the dual effect, which has a negative impact. Fine. Next, certain sectors will face a negative impact. It includes mostly the textile. Just now I have given you the example. Textile, media, pharma, mostly the most common goods which general public uses. In all the goods, if you notice, practically if you notice, if you ask for a bill to the seller, then you can see very nice. It's my request to each and everyone, please, whenever you purchase certain things, ask the seller to produce a bill so that practically you can see what is CGST, what is SGST, how they are charging, how it affects a customer, how it affects a trader. Then you come to know the negative effect of the GST. You can see in the bill, at the end of the bill, it is written mostly the 5% CGST, 5% SGST. Always the product amount will increase thereby. Though it is an indirect tax we are paying, the product price has been increased. So that is why what has been said that all these industries, these are the certain examples, but most of the common product used by the general public, this dual effect or this dual control has a negative effect. They are suffering that indirectly, not directly. Loss incurred by the manufacturing states. Due to this effect, manufacturing industries or manufacturing states who are manufacturing the goods, they are mostly facing a loss in certain stages, because the manufacturing industries, they have to dispatch their goods, they have to give their goods to the supplier at a very minimal rate, so that the supplier will be benefited, and then wholesaler, then retailer, whoever, it is a chain system. But the first person is the manufacturer. So they are the sufferer of the loss due to this taxation procedure. Because the same tax has been paid by the manufacturer, supplier, wholesaler, retailer, same tax. But the prices are different. If the supplier is selling the goods as 100 rupees, wholesaler will sell it at rupees 150. Retailer will sell it at rupees 200. So ultimately customers will be the loser. But each and every step, the loser, main loss bear by the supplier who gave the commodity at a very lower price, cheap rate. So that is why always the manufacturer are the loser. They face the loss. So these are the vital point which we have to remember for the negative impact of the GST. In all other cases, characteristics, goals, advantages, everywhere we will get the positive impact of the GST, whereas few fields are there where there is a negative impact indirectly. Directly we cannot see the impact. But if we study, then we come to know that there are certain negative effect of GST. Although it has negative effect, it is ultimately very much beneficial for our country. And by implementing the GST, hope our country will develop more and more. So your first unit will be over with this topic. Next, we will go for the second unit.